I hope your day is full of slides and monkey bars and sandboxes and tire swings and teeter-totters. Gotta have teeter-totters. It's a children's park theme intro, guys, for you on this amazing Wednesday. Guys, I have an amazing episode of Shank for you this week with the one, the only Ryan Long. He's a super funny comic. He makes really amazing sketches on TikTok and all over Instagram. And he also has a new special on YouTube called White Immigrant. Make sure to check that out. Also, if you're in the LA area, I will be performing this week. Friday, I am doing a show in North Hills in the Valley at 7 p.m. It's a great lineup. Saturday, March 26th, I will be at the Comedy Store Belly Room at 8 p.m. So come out, support live comedy. Also, I'm doing a 420 show in LA at Nightcap with Josh Potter, Ryan Sickler, Kimberly Congdon. It's Kim and Congdon in my 420 show. It's called Not Another 420 Show. So if you're in the LA area, make sure to come out for that. There's limited seats available, but it's going to be a fun time. If you're someone who's looking to support this podcast and someone who also enjoys fashion or comfort or luxury or fun, get a pair of Oh Yeah socks. Oh yeah, look down at your feet right now. Are they exposed? Ew, cover them up. Don't be showing your toes unless someone's offering you money. You have to protect your delicate toes in 2022. Head over to ohyeah.com. That's 3 O's HYEAH.com. Enter discount code Sara, SARA 10 for 10% off unique sock designs. So they have a wide range of socks to choose from, whether you're into Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood or birds or dogs or cats or yin-yangs or aliens or pizza or Bob Ross. There's a sock for you guys, and it's a great way to support the show. Give the gift of socks this spring. It's a great birthday gift. I'm thinking of you gift. I'm sorry. Thank you to your accountant for doing your taxes gift. Congrats on graduating. I have no other money after doing my taxes gift. Buy a pair of socks. Support the pod. Guys, before we get into this week's episode of Shank with Ryan Long, I just want to remind you guys, I also have a new podcast with Kimberly Congdon called This Bitch. Monday's episode was a really fun one with Ryan Sickler. If you haven't checked that out, check it out now. And make sure to subscribe to Shank. If you're enjoying the show, please leave a review. It helps people find out about the show, and I'm trying to grow the show as much as possible. And all right, let's do it. Let's get into this week's episode of Shank with the one, the only Ryan Long.
And just kind of rock.
Yeah, we're gonna rock. We're gonna jam out. Guys, welcome back to another episode of Shank. I'm Sara Weinshenk. Today's guest is Ryan Long.
In the place to be. Also, this happened as I was coming here, but LA has a epidemic of grumpy Uber drivers.
What do you mean? You had a bad Uber experience?
Yeah, but very specifically bad. I was drinking a Red Bull, and she goes, and I put it in the cup holder. She goes, "Why you put it in a cup holder?" I go, "What? Where do you want to put it?" She goes, "What if it spills?" And I go, "Okay." So I had to hold my Red Bull because she didn't want me to put it in the cup holder.
She said, "What if it spills? Isn't that part of being an Uber driver, bitch?"
Also, yeah, it's more likely to spill with me holding it than in the registered cup holder for it. And then on top of that, then she took a phone call and she was getting into it with one of her friends. She goes, "Can you believe he did that and this and that?" Yeah, actual full out argument with it. Not argument. She was arguing with a hypothetical person with her friend, and she's going on and on. And then at the end of it, I go, "All right, thank you." And she goes,
No.
Yeah, like I was the asshole.
Hey, do you ever check your ratings?
Nah, it can't be good. I got kicked off Uber 3 times this year.
You got kicked off for 3 times? Why?
Yeah,
for what?
mask.
Lyft?
Yeah, for mask infractions.
Oh, shit. You were just trying to breathe in fresh air?
yeah. I always have to... there was a good period where I had to keep calling people and be like, "Yo, can you call me a Lyft?" But it was never for anything I did. It was only mask infractions.
Mask infractions, they take those seriously.
They do take it seriously. They give you a 48-hour ban, and then I think I had a week ban at one point.
A 48-hour ban for a mask infraction?
Yeah, they took the mask seriously. Now people don't care as much.
I have some questions for you.
Okay.
And they're so weird. And there's only 2. What's the worst purchase you've ever made?
Okay, worst. These are funny questions.
I feel like I gotta know what the worst purchase Ryan's ever made is.
I would say the worst purchase I made this year was $100,000 in Topps baseball card SPAC that basically almost got annihilated, and I lost like $60,000.
Wait, what?
Most of my bad purchases are stock related.
Oh, you're like a day trader?
Oh, no.
A baseball card collector?
No, what I like to do is just I take a good portion of my money, and what I like to do is I sort of it's me donating to the hedge funds. Like I put it in something, I lose it, and I just you know what? I just want to get that money out into the other people that are trading. I give them encouragement.
I respect.
If you're running a hedge fund or something like that, I just like my money to be gobbled up by you or Bitcoin traders. I generally lose on all my trades. Yeah.
Really? Okay, so what about the baseball cards?
Well, it was a company that was buying a baseball card company.
Okay.
And then they lost their license to sell baseball cards, and I lost all my money.
Oh my God. Are you into baseball cards like that?
No, a friend of mine thought it was a hot purchase.
No.
My friends have the worst of it. This guy thinks he knows, but I was thinking, my other buddy, he'll be like, yo, I've got this crazy tip. And he'll be like, this company's going to the moon, blah, blah. And you go, how do you know that? And he goes, Jim Cramer. You heard it on, this is like not a stock tip. He goes, yeah, Fox News stocks, they're talking about this, like Amazon hot tip.
Dude, that's crazy. That's like when Kim's mom started dating some guy. She's like, I don't know. He knows.
Kardashian?
No, Kim Congdon.
Oh.
She's my Kim K. But so her mom started dating some guy who calls her and is like, you got to buy Dogecoin. So then she calls me.
How much did you buy?
A lot, kind of. I don't know. But so she called me and said, you have to buy Dogecoin. This guy my mom's hooking up with suggested it, and he has a lot of money. And I was like, okay, great. I lost a bunch of money. And by a bunch of money, I mean $50.
I love, this guy that's smashing Kim's mom, just whispering in her ear, buy Doge.
Yeah. Like, how does that come up?
I would never, that's not what you want on your record, is you're out there like smashing some chick, and then you convince her daughter to lose all her money on some risky purchase. And what an insane recommendation. Like, anyone who knows what they're talking about knows Doge is a coin flip.
Totally. And
good chance you get murked.
Yeah. And when Kim called me to tell me, I'm like, okay, yeah. And then I bought it, lost money. And
you bought it too? How much you buy?
I bought like $50 worth, lost it. Because it was right around, but to me,
you don't even know about losing real money.
As a Jew, $50 feels like $50K.
I'm out here in the big leagues of losing money.
Yeah, you are.
It gets easier, I'll tell you that.
It does?
Well, I just think of it as like the same reason you give your money to tax. Every year I give a bunch of $1,000 to the stock market.
See, I just get
the universe. I give my money to the universe.
The universe is your bank account.
I have to give crypto to the universe. Let's see what I have right now.
I was having a bad week last week. I was listening to this. There's like this affirmation song.
Oh, nice.
It's called the Ye's Coins. It's about getting money.
Have, Bitcoin and Ethereum. What did it? Oh.
It's like an affirmation, like positive thing about how we live in the world of.
We were just making fun of that.
Yeah, I was listening to that shit.
Oh my God! And did it tell you this one was like write down all the money that you're grateful for and all that sort of stuff?
No, this one was like, I can actually play it.
And it tells you how to get rich, and it's like. By the way, that is, as a Jewish person, as you said, that's something you don't want to be caught in public doing, like worshiping essentially money. Because they do, right? They go, you have to like worship the bills, and you have to like, accept it as your god.
Wait.
Ladies, we ready? Here we go.
Getting rich.
More money, no problem, no problem. More money, no problem, no problem. More money,
that's
more
it.
money.
And you're supposed to kind of do this daily?
I put it on when I'm doing my makeup.
When I see myself, I see abundance. My very endless breaths I take on daily. Heart is beating countlessly.
Find a man and rinse him for his cash. Don't pay for that, Bill.
Abundance is my birthright.
Abundance. Leave your purse at home on the date.
Money story. A wealth
Repeat after me. Oh, I guess I forgot my debit card. Oh my God.
How
These are so funny.
Yeah. So yeah.
Those are the best. I mean, there is something to be said about this. Is all the secret stuff where you go, you're right. If you think about something 24/7, you might have more,
Yeah, but if you also think about something that you don't have 24/7, I feel like it could have the reverse effect because you're focusing on lack instead of the abundance.
Right. So you're supposed to focus on what you have. Like whatever you have, even if you're homeless, you're supposed to be walking around like I'm a change magnet.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm bathing in change.
Exactly. Like the sun is shining. I'm getting vitamin D. I'm grateful for that.
I'm grateful for this change. Other homeless people are jealous for my hat full of Washingtons. Is that what they are?
Yeah, Washingtons. Fresh, crisp Washingtons.
Yeah, that is pretty crazy. And this other one was saying jump around, and it was making them people do jumping jacks and yell stuff about money. Yeah.
Dude,
it's a hustle, yeah.
People get crazy when it comes to money.
Well, that's what happened is this person listened to another one, and he was like, doing the jumping jacks, and he was like, oh, I know a good scam. I'll do what this person just did to me.
Yeah.
So then it's a pyramid scheme eventually where you essentially do these affirmations to get money, and then you start charging other people, and then they find 5 people, and all the money funnels up to the affirmation sellers.
It's like Herbalife.
That's so funny.
This is a weird question. What food do you swear people pretend to like? This was trending on Reddit. I was like, do people pretend to like food?
Yes, people pretend to like extra hot wings. So that's the number one thing that people pretend to eat.
Okay, I'm with you on that.
Especially dudes, you go, oh, we have medium hot suicide, and they go suicide for sure, and then they go, if anything, it's not spicy enough.
Yeah.
They start trying to pretend. I don't think anyone's ever actually enjoyed a suicide wing. This is all for show.
It's a way to test your masculinity.
It 100% is. Anyone eating suicide wings is out there trying to prove something to themselves, their parents, the person that they're on a date with potentially.
Like, Dad, I'm not gay. I ate the suicide wings.
Oh, if I'm so gay, then why did I just pound and a half of suicide wings?
That's amazing.
Oh yeah, would a gay guy be mainlining suicide sauce?
It's as a cover.
Yeah.
Just eating wings. Eating wings is the new beard.
I think all hot stuff, really. I think the entire country of India is a hoax. I don't even believe it exists. I'm an India denier.
You're an India denier.
It's a whole country of people that got something to prove. Short guy syndrome. They're all sitting there. Oh, yeah, if anything, it's not hot enough.
I feel like people pretend to like. There's some seafood that I can't get down with.
I think that most seafood is kind of gross. Yeah.
Yeah, like when people are just eating oysters.
That's a pretty good one, because for me, I won't eat that stuff, and people go, oh, you'll like it, but it's just too grimy.
It's like a snot.
Texture, yeah, exactly.
It's like mucus. It's like swallowing mucus, and then people are like, it's an aphrodisiac.
I can't get over I'll eat fish and all that stuff if you put it in a stick, like in the form of a stick.
like in the microwave, like a fish stick.
It's actually not a big fish guy, but if you pop it into a stick, I like it now.
That's amazing.
Same with that. Yeah, if you put it on a fillet in a McDonald's burger, then all of a sudden, now we're talking.
Put it in cake, like a crab cake.
Something like that, you're up my alley. But most of those seafood things, I can't get over mentally that I'm like, this is some like grimy like sea creature. Still, and you don't feel that with like a cow. You're not like, oh, I'm eating a cow.
No,
like I can't get over it with the seafood.
But the worst is when you're eating a cow, and I mean, in LA, this happens a lot.
Eating out a cow in LA, yeah, classic.
You're just eating a cow in LA on Sunset. You know how it is.
Late night,
late night cow, and then your vegan friend approaches you to remind you that you are in fact eating a cow. Does that happen?
They remind you and they go, "You're the cow."
Yeah.
No.
That's an LA thing.
Yeah,
it's like, bitch, I know.
East Coast, West Coast.
East Coast, West Coast. Yeah.
Want to hear so I like the first time I ever did comedy was in Los Angeles, and the first time I ever did a stage was, what's that one where the guy's name's Marty or something, and they do like 10 shows a day or something.
Oh my god, yeah.
I don't know the guy's name. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, though, right?
Yes, it was the worst.
So
place
that was the
ever.
first time I ever did. Yeah, and it was
pay $5.
You pay $5. You do a set, and there's like 5 people there, right? And there was this guy, and I saw him twice, and he did the same joke a couple of times because you see the same people that week that I was doing stand up here, and he goes, Starbucks, they got all these new drinks. What's with these names? Cappuccino, Frappuccino, Al Pacino. He goes, they keep it up. I'm gonna be brokachino.
No.
I'll never forget that. Every time I come back to LA, I hope, like every time I come back, I hope I'm like, man, I want to see that guy at the Comedy Store. And then he's just on stage. I'm gonna be brokachino. I made it.
Dude, Marty's.
I'd love to know who that guy is.
Marty's was the weirdest place to do stand up.
Yeah, it was
They're
ridiculous.
closed.
Yeah.
It was like this guy.
Some people would just be there like all day long.
People like lived there. There was like rooms there, and I think Marty lived there too. And you'd pay like $5, and it was like
He had a racket though, because that's his money affirmation led him to start a comedy club hustle. That is kind of a hustle. Like a lot of people end up with that hustle in the rap game. That's everyone's like, I want to be a rapper, and then eventually you go, or what if I find 20 rappers to sell tickets to the show?
Yeah, dude. Selling tickets. Did you ever have to do that? Bringer shows where you sell. They used to.
I never did that with comedy, but I used to do music before, and when I was like in high school, I did like some of those. Yeah. And I remember in being like 13 and thinking like we go into the big city to do our show that we sold our tickets to, and we're like, we're famous basically.
What kind of music did you do?
Like a punk band in Canada.
Okay, cool. So do you play any instruments now?
I'm retired.
Oh, you're a retired punk artist?
I'm retired. Yeah, I'm a retired punk artist. I don't even look at the stuff.
You don't touch it anymore?
No. The odd time I do music for videos.
Okay.
So I'll do, sometimes I'll come out of retirement to do like a comedy thing.
Okay, I respect that. Can you play an instrument?
Yeah, I can play all the instruments.
All of them?
Yeah.
You said it so casually.
Yeah.
I tried to play the keyboard. It didn't go well. It's just in my kitchen.
Yeah, that's one I feel like it's hard to start as an adult. That's I've been playing since I was 8 instrument.
Really?
I think so.
What instruments can you play?
Like all the main ones. I don't know, guitar.
What, drums?
Yeah, drums, guitar,
Cool.
piano.
All the
trumpet.
main ones. Trumpet. Dude, incorporate a trumpet into your act. That would be wild.
I was thinking, because I just recorded an album, and this is like the 3rd time that I recorded and then started again. And I had about 15 minutes left that I kept off the special or whatever. And then I was writing, and I was like, okay, I'm going on tour again. And I'm like, okay, I probably have 35, 40 minutes. Maybe I do a bit of old stuff. And I was like starting to get some wacky ideas about like, maybe I do a couple songs. I was starting to fill up that hour in my head with some wacky concepts.
Yeah, where you're like, oh, maybe I'll just have fun with it.
Yeah.
When you have to throw away your old material.
Well, then I started thinking, he was like, oh, you're going to bring a guitar with you. I guess I could tell them to bring one. I go, this is why people don't do this. I go, I'm a guitar comic to fill time. But yeah, brain started wandering in some bad territories when I started looking at what the hour looked like.
No, that's amazing. So wait, where's your special? Where can people watch it?
YouTube.com/Ryan Long Comedy.
Okay, cool. And how long is it? And
45.
When did you drop it?
A week ago.
Okay, cool. How's it going?
Good. I don't know. We're at like maybe almost 300,000 views in a week or something.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I think it's going pretty good.
That's cool. I wanted to have you on the podcast.
Clip City, I'm posting. Now it's Clip City.
Clip City, baby.
Yeah, I'm swimming in clips.
It used to be about specials. Now it's just about clips.
Yeah, the special is just to promote your clips.
That's so fucked up.
Yeah, you release the special to promote your clips. That is one thing that, most people just see the clips. You're like, I don't know, I could just do all this material still, but.
Yeah, the clips. Do you spend a lot of time picking clips?
No, I do. I have someone on my team that like sends me 5 every week from each of the things.
Sends you 5.
Well, like we do a podcast, and he sends 5 clips from the podcast, and then
okay, got it.
And then videos, we cut clips from that. Sometimes I'll cut clips of my videos because I edit the videos usually.
Does he pick the 5 or do you?
He picks. I don't get involved.
The problem is it's hard to pick.
Well, then I don't post it. So I just go. That's what we do. I go post. Pick 5, and then it's more. Like I'm all about trying to figure out systems that are sustainable.
Yeah.
So there's just like no real way like obviously if there's something super, you're like, hey, do that. But I think that the trick is to try to find someone that like kind of gets it. And then if they give you 5 and none of them you liked, then you kind of are in a situation where you're like, All right, well, we didn't have a clip this week.
Yeah.
Or just post one anyway, whatever. But I think that as a system, it doesn't make sense to be trying to, unless you're editing your own thing. Like, you only have so much time.
Yeah, it takes a lot of fucking time. That's the thing that people don't tell you. Okay, what's the best purchase you've ever made?
Best purchase I've ever made. I think that probably I'm more of my best thing I've ever done is whenever I get rid of all my stuff and start again, and I go, yeah, that to me, that's the best, is not having any purchases. But
living like a simple like monk.
100%. Yeah.
I like that.
To me, that's the dream. Like, even when I moved here, I left all my stuff in a storage locker in Canada and then just never got any of it. So I've legitimately just started again, and I moved into a place and I was like, I have one thing.
Really?
I have a laptop.
But that makes the most sense as a comic.
Yeah, it's the best.
I'm a bitch with a lot of stuff. Anytime I go anywhere, there's a lot of stuff.
That's where this all falls apart. Because as a guy, you can be like, yo, I'll be the minimalist guy. And you go, okay, but eventually, like anyone, you just start dating someone and they kind of then eventually move in, and they're not also going to be a minimalist guy.
Yeah.
So totally. It's like, okay, yeah, you don't have your stuff. Now you just have a bunch of girls' stuff.
Yeah.
And you go, we're going to have nothing in the bathroom. And she's like, yeah, okay, well, that's not happening. But I go, for my chakras.
But my chakras, I love it.
Yeah. So I can't think of what would be. I don't buy anything. I just put my money in the stock market and lose it. I bought a house in Toronto that like doubled. So that's probably my best thing.
Oh, that's a legit purchase.
That was my best purchase I've ever made.
Congrats.
Nice.
On the house.
That was my.
And the worst? What did you say the worst was? I already forgot.
Worst was all my stock purchases, and the best was the house. I was going to buy another one here, but then I couldn't get a mortgage because I'm an immigrant.
Because you're from Canada?
Yeah, they're racist.
Fuck that.
I know. I went to a bunch of banks, and like the only thing I could get was like a sleazy like Italian like loan shark guy, basically. That's the only guy that I figured out that was going to get. And it was like the crazy interest rate, real sleazy. So I was just like, oh, wait.
That's amazing.
Until I do taxes and stuff.
The first time I ever saw you online, you were dressed up as SpongeBob.
Oh, nice.
With Corinne.
I like costumes.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, that is something that I do regret sometimes. Because at my old place, when I was in Toronto, I used to have essentially like an entire costume department.
And it's expensive.
Yeah.
And you can only keep them for so long.
Those are some of my best purchases.
Your costumes?
And everyone in the scene used to call me, be like, yo, I need a prisoner outfit. And I go, we got you, pop by. Oh, I need a sailor. I need a whatever, right? I need two old man wigs, whatever you needed. I had basically we had a studio in the city, and I had like basically a whole like side of the office was like 3 racks and bins all full of costumes and props and stuff like that.
That's dope.
So when I moved here too, I just threw all of it out. That's one thing I go, because yeah, sometimes you're just like, you know what? I need a policeman outfit, and there's like I had 4 of them. That would have been nice.
Dude, of course.
I'm starting to collect again, though.
And then the second you get rid of it, you need it.
I know. So I think that I just had to register my brain where you go, just don't think about it. It's like, if you need it, you just buy it. End of story. Stop thinking. Amazon makes it sort of easy, though.
Yeah, that's true.
But a lot of times I'll find myself in a situation where I won't buy it quick enough, and then I'll be like shooting tomorrow, and I have to go to the costume shop. And that's like me going to the costume shop is sort of like when a girl goes shoe stores. I get in there, I'm like, I could do a sketch with a burglar.
So when you get into
I can do a Dracula sketch.
You feel inspired the second you walk in.
I love it there.
Do you? Okay.
I really do. Sometimes even because doing videos, sometimes I will just look through locations and costumes and be like, well, maybe I'll do like a sketch there. You know, they'll see, it'll be like because they'll have like some weird setups, right? Some like elaborate children's birthday party thing. And I'll be like, ooh, I could do something there. A jail. That's why I decided to do a jail sketch. I just saw like they had a cool jail thing. And I was like, oh, I'll do a jail thing.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I get jazzed up when I get to that costume store.
You get jazzed up?
Yeah. They go, sir, we're closing. I go, I'm not done. I'll tell you when to close. You know how much money I spend here?
Show me your capes. Show me your accessories.
Yeah, I do a lot of that stuff. So that's a big fun one for me is costume stores.
Costume stores.
Those are all my purchases, but I had to let them go. $20,000 worth of costumes.
Did you start stand-up in Canada?
Yeah, but like legit, like actually, technically, in LA is where I first did it for the first. I was here for like a month and I started doing stand up.
Cool.
But that was sort of on purpose because I wanted to do it where like no one knew who I was and all that stuff.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But then I was in Toronto for maybe doing stand up for like 10 years.
And then
New York for 2 years. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. I'm getting the Ryan Long story.
Yeah.
You know, not everyone knows it. You like LA?
No, it's cool. I think that just in terms of like doing, I mean, whatever. There's probably a million people talked about this, but I'm not ready to not do stand up like the amount that I do it. So that's the problem with moving to LA. But as far as doing videos and all the other sort of stuff, LA would be better. And obviously life's just better. You get a car. Like, dude, having a car where I live in the downtown New York would be just impossible.
Yeah, because driving a car would take as long probably.
Yeah, and also the closest garage I could even rent or whatever for, $1,000 a month for a garage isn't even that close. So it's like legitimately, it's not even that convenient. Like there's no garages I could even have that wouldn't be, 4-minute walk.
It just seems like a liability.
It is a liability.
Like driving in New York, liability. Yeah. Driving in LA, fun time.
Oh, I went from driving every day of my life to I never drive. And to be honest, I kind of like it. They solved this problem. There's a lot of problems where you go, dude, you just sort of have a personal chauffeur now with Uber.
Yeah, but the Ubers are real hit or miss too.
In which way? Like lately, you get grumpy ones, obviously, but I mean, in terms of hit or miss, where they bring you to the wrong location.
Well, like the post-pandemic, like ever since the pandemic, the Uber and Lyft drivers, I feel like they're not really, their head's not in the game. And I'm not judging them for it. I'm not blaming them. My head's not in the game either. You know what I mean? But when they show up sometimes,
you think they're slacking?
I think they're slacking. I think they're fucking over it. They're like worried about contracting.
Is that why they're grumpy?
They're grumpy. Yeah. They're like, you think I want to be chauffeuring your ass around?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
well, especially in LA because they're just like, this guy probably doesn't even know that I'm like about to blow up as a rapper.
Yeah.
This guy doesn't even know about my new mixtape that's coming out.
Yeah, and it's like, remember back in the day? I've been
telling me
like
to
a boomer. Back in the day, it was like people were like valued customer service.
Yeah, well,
now people are like,
that reminded me of another thing my grumpy one did on the way here. She had the window on my face, so it was blasting, and I just didn't like it because it was too windy or whatever. And I was like, "Can you turn it down?" She goes, and then turns it down. And I was like, "It's not that crazy of a request." And her window wasn't down. She just had her window up, and then the passenger one blowing in my face up. It was like a pretty reasonable request.
That is. Same with the cup holder thing.
She acted like I was being crazy.
For using a cup holder and asking her to roll up the window?
I was really rubbing this girl the wrong way for some reason.
That's... Have you ever cried in an Uber?
I don't cry, period. I was thinking about that.
So masculine of you.
I don't think that I've cried in, like, I can't remember.
Really?
Mm-mm.
You just don't have emotions, or are you on antidepressants?
Well, I actually got tear ducts permanently. That's the most. That is my tear ducts permanently shut. No, that is that's so funny. Being like, I don't cry. I go, oh, antidepressants. I go, no, I'm not depressed. You go, but what? That's such like city shit.
Yeah.
No, that's one thing that I've been talking about on stage. Is like everyone, there's no one in New York that doesn't have like a therapist, and people talk about it like it's really normal. People go, yeah, I was talking to my therapist, not like, oh, by the way, I go to a therapist.
Right.
They just like drop it as if everyone, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
It feels like someone that was, imagine someone that has like a butler and then they were just dropping it very, that's how it like strikes me. It's kind of like, yeah, it feels like you being like, oh yeah, well anyways, my butler's on the way over, but like you go, wait, you have a butler? Like it should be the fact that it shouldn't just be like implied that, yeah, obviously we all go to therapy.
Well, I feel like everyone's just so mentally ill that I'm around and with, especially
is that just,
in comedy, that I just assume everyone.
Do you think that's a entertainment thing?
Yeah. I think that's also just like a being alive thing.
I think it's splitting off. It is kind of there is two very separate like split off of like I'm depressed and sort of like it's a part of my identity. I'm anxious and I work on myself, and then there's sort of the oh shut up like just work kind of thing. And I think that in the like YouTube running your own business stuff, I think it works better to have like a put head down and work mentality, because it's not like you could be like people are depressed, but also you can also be like, yeah, but who cares? I've always had a sort of thing of this idea of like, oh, I'm not happy. It's like, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
obviously you don't want to be so depressed that you can't.
Debilitating.
It's debilitating. But I was thinking of, because it depends on what your goals are, and people don't like these theories. No, these theories really rub people the wrong way. But you go, if you look at your goal is like, say I want to accomplish this or whatever, right? The inputs would be like, I need enough like capital, I need enough time, I need the skills, I need to be fed so I'm not starving to death, I need to not be like debilitatingly depressed. But as long as you're like enough,
yeah.
then if you're trying to accomplish something, you go, but you weren't happy there. You go, well, my goal wasn't to be happy. My goal was to do this thing.
Right.
So maybe that's kind of
Like transfer your energy and use it in a different way. Like keep your head down and just keep working.
Yeah. Like, well, imagine you say we're in a race, right?
Okay.
And then 5 people are racing. Is really like how happy they were relevant? It depends on what your goal are. If your goal is to win, then I guess it depends on how singularly focused you are on your goals. Are you like, I feel like that is a big, maybe girl guy thing, but also LA thing, where you talk to a lot of LA people and they'll be like, and maybe girls, but they go, well, I can't, you'll be like, oh, let me explain it right. Sorry.
No, it's okay. No, I'm on board with what I'm following.
It's like this. It'll be like, okay, well, I hang out with my friends Wednesday, and I do this Saturday, and then I need like a day where I go to the beach and like something like that, right? And then they'll be like, oh, I can't get all my stuff done, and be like, well, why don't you just not do that? And they're like, well, I need that. Because there's all these like stuff that people like need, and they go, oh, I won't be able to get it done because I have to do lunch with my friends that day. I was like, well, just don't do the lunch with your friends. It's like, well, I have to. It's almost like people, you want to get to where you're going, but like you want everything to be like very pleasant along the way.
Yeah, like you don't want any trade-offs. You don't want any fucking trade-offs. You're like, I want to do everything I want to do, and if I can't do it, then I'm pissed.
Yeah, well, they see it. I think a lot of people see it as, well, I won't be able to like perform if I don't have these kind of, things. This is a very important part of getting me to myself in a place where I could perform. And you're just like, I don't know. Like really?
Like a balanced lifestyle.
A balanced lifestyle. That's a good way to describe it. A balanced lifestyle is very important for a lot of people in Los Angeles.
Yeah, but it's also just like, to me, it's like you have to be able to work and get shit done too.
You need to be able to do both.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you balanced?
I try to be. You see me listening to my money affirmations.
Yeah.
Through the streets of Los Angeles. I try to be balanced, but I also...
Well, it's not necessarily balanced. That's just... It depends. That's just like...
money hungry?
Or, I mean, that's... like as much as I'm making fun of it, that is, you're trying to... That's like moving towards a goal. That's not like a sidetrack.
Yeah, my affirmations.
That's like a part of the thing, yeah.
Yeah. No, I feel like I'm pretty balanced for the most part, but I'm also very obsessive and I have anxiety, so that's how I get things done.
Okay.
Like when Kim Congdon and I, we have a podcast, This Bitch, when we're working on that together, I'll text her, ask her questions, scheduling questions nonstop. Like to the point where it's like, she's like, okay, we figured it out, bitch.
Is that like kind of like Jewish neuroticism?
Yeah.
Neuroticism?
Yeah. It's like a Jewy, like...
Why is that?
I don't know.
Yeah, because it just... You can't just like let it go. You have to make sure every little thing...
It's like a compulsion. You're like, I'm like, okay, so tomorrow at 1:15, she'll be like, yeah, we already confirmed like 3 times. And so now I'm looking at myself like, okay, cool. Now she knows I got to let it go. You know what I mean? Because in like work partnerships, you wear different hats.
How do you stop that? To me, maybe it would be like, you have to, like, I guess if you had lists of your procedures for each things, so you go, every time I'm doing a podcast, once it's confirmed, and then you check the box, and then you go, well, if you look at it, the box is checked, then you have to move on.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Like I have to constantly tell myself to just...
That's figured out.
Yeah, I have to constantly check in with myself and be like, okay, you already told her, it's confirmed, whatever. But it's also like a form of anxiety that I think...
Do you not trust her? Is she flaky?
No, she's not flaky, but I'm more like...
You can tell me. It's just us here.
I'm more
just the two of us.
I'm like more.
Kim Kong is flaky. Got it.
No, I'm
No,
more.
you need to remind her 5 times because there's a good chance she won't show up.
Well, yeah.
She'll smoke weed.
She'll smoke weed, or she'll just be like, "Oh, I forgot to put it in my calendar."
But that's nice of you to be like, no, it's not that I'm anxious. That's why I have to remind you 6 times to show up.
Well, it's like somewhere in the middle, I think, because it's about like when you work with someone, meeting them in the middle. Because it's like, okay, the way that she operates is completely different than the way that I operate. So how
They're
can
like,
we
whatever,
both?
man. Yeah, maybe we'll show up.
Yeah.
Those are my favorite people where you're just like, yo, want to shoot something at 3? And they'll be like, yeah, sure, whatever. And you're like, okay, well, we have to book a studio.
But
like, does 3 work? You're like,
does 3 work?
yeah, maybe. Like, we could do it then. Could be. But like, how about that time specifically? Because
Yeah.
we're going to have to actually, 5 people are going to have to show up.
No, exactly. That's how. Yeah. Okay, let me
Non-commitment?
just make sure. Let me confirm. Yeah.
Like a dude in a relationship. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. One day. Who knows what it is? We used to call that, we used to have a body. We said an expert at it. We go, you basically, you play the groggy tired guy to avoid any conversations. He'll be like, so what are we? And you're like, what? I don't know. Like, I don't know if I could do this right now. Like, where? Give me a second here. Like, dude, I just got up. Blah, blah. Like,
That's fucking amazing.
You avoid every conversation with the groggy tired guy.
Yeah, dude.
Yo, who's this in your phone? What? I don't. Okay, can we have a fucking second here? I'm like, Jesus.
I for sure dated so many groggy tired guys.
Groggy tired guys do anything.
Yeah, they get out of everything.
It's a short-term solution, though. It's like it comes back an hour later. It's like, you're still groggy and tired? You go, actually, kind of, yeah. I'm generally fairly groggy. What day is it even?
I'm groggy and tired.
You just play so dumb.
That's so good, though. But
So
I feel like it works for a while.
It does work for a while. But
Until you cross the wrong bitch.
yeah, well, some people are just some people won't let it go because basically you're playing on. I think when you're doing that kind of thing, it's most people don't want to be insane, so you put them in a situation where they're gonna have to be insane if they keep pressing this issue. But you'll meet the wrong person that's like, okay, well, when you're done being groggy and tired, we'll talk about this. I'll wait.
Yeah.
And then you go, oh, what? I gotta get out of here. You go, don't stop. We're not doing like someone that just calls out the bullshit.
But I feel like there's more groggy and tired men than there are women.
Maybe. I don't
think that's a good out.
I'm saying it's a fake groggy tired. I'm not buying the whole charade to begin with.
I think there's a lot of fake busy women.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of fake busy bitches.
You go, what are you doing?
Like, I'm so busy. Like, really doing what?
Totally. And yeah. Well, there's a lot of fake, like, I'd say the kind of club promotery entrepreneurial guy is fake busy.
Yeah.
Like, what'd you do? Like, so many meetings?
Yeah, hustling,
Meetings, hustling. I was just like commenting on people's Instagram stories for likes.
A lot of reach out.
Like,
what do you mean you DM some people?
Yeah. That's the best is when you put, which that is a fun thing to do. And if you're like dating, it does make everything seem cooler. But putting cool words to really normal stuff, it's like, no, we didn't need. Like I'm not broke. It's like, need to raise capital. But yeah. You get like film shoots is that too. You can make stuff sound so much more important, but you're right. Like saying I was doing, obviously we're in the process of doing cold emails right now. And you're like, so you're just like randomly emailing people about your fake business.
Yeah, exactly.
Right now we're trying to lock down talent for the show. And you're just messaging famous people to be in your YouTube series.
And they're not writing back.
Locking down talent is way better.
And also like
get a call sheet involved. That's how you start really seem important.
People are like, for like ad stuff, and I'll be like, oh, do you want me to do product integration?
Yeah.
Like, what does that even mean? Is the products on camera?
I love, calling like a branded spot is definitely one of those words where, well, this one was like a branded spot. It's like, yeah, so you did a crappy video for money. Got it. You made a hunk of trash for a paycheck. It's like it's sort of like a branded thing, yeah.
Oh man.
But yeah, that is definitely a game to get good at. But there's a lot of fake busy people. But I don't know if I necessarily agree that it's more
women.
Yeah.
Oh, there is. You're right. There is like the subculture of fake busy men.
There's a lot of fake busy. The hustle.
The sleep when I'm dead energy. Right? That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, there is a lot of that. But
that's one thing that I was way worse at when I was, because I was probably a little bit, maybe I am still a little bit of that.
What?
The sleep when I'm dead guy.
Yeah, okay.
But I think that I'm better at focusing all the energy on like something that kind of matters. Whereas I think that before, there's a lot of people you're just like working really hard at the wrong thing.
Yeah. Just wasting all your energy.
Yeah.
On nothing.
Well, how many people do you know that have like 12, failed like podcasts, and they're just like, let's start at 13, blah blah, and you're like, yeah, you're spending a lot of energy, but like, why don't you focus on like the one or two that you're actually doing that's doing well?
Yeah, no, I feel like that's pretty. Yeah, you're spending more energy than you need to be spending.
Of course, yeah.
Sometimes it's hard to
or the people that just do sets. You're doing stand up and you go, I did like 7 spots, but but you just said the same thing at all those 7. You were like, well, I guess that you're busy. But you didn't get anything done.
Yeah, you didn't work out any new material.
You know what? In the Silicon Valley community, they would call that the difference between efficiency and effectiveness.
Whoa, I wasn't expecting you to come with the Silicon Valley terminology.
Lexicon, yeah.
What?
Oh, I'm all terminology to try to seem cool. But the efficiency is like, you could be like, I was able to do like 10 hours of work in 6 hours. Like I was really efficient. And effectiveness is like, did any of this matter?
Yeah. When I used to take Adderall and I would get so much stuff done.
I
get so much stuff done, but none of it really mattered.
I wrote 12 scripts. And you go, well, how did writing scripts help you in any sort of way?
You're like, well, they're written.
Yeah.
So I have them.
Sorry that I'm on fire right now.
In case someone wants scripts and they mention it in a meeting, I will have the script.
Yeah. So it's like, yeah, you're sorry for you messing with my flow of what I'm accomplishing right now.
Yeah.
But I was definitely more efficient than effective back most of my life, probably.
Really?
Yeah. I think I had to work hard to be effective because it is, you feel like you're accomplished because you're getting stuff done. It's the clean in your room,
Yeah. Nothing makes you feel better than crossing something off a list.
Yeah. And you're just like, what if you just took this whole list and threw it in the garbage because you're doing a bunch of useless garbage?
Then my day would be ruined. Like if I lost my list of shit that I have to do, because there is some satisfaction that comes from the crossing off.
I feel like list is a girl thing, but I do it like I think that's one of my things that I do like a girl.
You're a list guy?
Mm-hmm. Big one. And pretty, like, so basically I use Evernote.
Okay.
And then I have probably...
I don't even know what Evernote is.
Basically, like how Silicon Valley does lists.
Okay. Is it an app?
If you're ready to do lists like the pros.
Okay.
For your daily affirmations, yeah, you can put your daily affirmations on lists, and you could actually categorize them, right?
On Evernote.
Well, basically, it's like you have notes in your phone, right? Mm-hmm. But it's basically a more intricate version of that. But you have whatever, as many notes as you want. You could have sub notes and you can upload stuff to them, and then you can go back to older versions of it, but it syncs to all your computers and your phone.
Okay. That's cool.
I know a lot of people say that I need to write stuff down and in hand and it better. I don't believe that.
You don't?
No, I don't buy that. I think it's like fake news.
You think pen to paper energy is fake news?
I think it's one of the biggest lies that people tell themselves. That's my opinion, yeah.
I strongly disagree.
I know, everyone does. It's one of my most controversial opinions.
You're coming in with some shit. I wasn't even ready for that. I think there's something about the paper to the pen.
Whatever you got to tell yourself. I'll tell you what this is my theory, that yes, because that's how you do it. Well, because yes, you're more comfortable doing it because that's how you've been doing it forever, and it's a comfort level, but you can train your brain to do it however you want. You go, yeah, it's way more efficient and makes more sense and works better to do it on like a category, a note system where you can actually categorize things properly, and it's like way more efficient, so you don't have to have it all on different pages and stuff like that, right? So that's for sure. So you go, that's the better part, and you're saying like it's worse because I think I write better when I do it like this. I go, yeah, but you can change that.
But can I? Or is that part of how my brain works?
So your brain works because you're writing, it makes your brain work better. Well, why is that?
Because I'm in a flow state.
Okay, so how do you get into a flow state without that? You're saying it's not possible?
I'm saying it's easier for me to get into that creative state with a paper and pen.
Right now it is. Yeah.
But if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Well, then, but it's about improvement.
Yeah. I need to be more efficient.
Well, I don't think anyone agrees with me on this. People like their notes. I think people like the aesthetic too.
Oh, no, my notes aesthetic is mentally ill. Like, if you looked at my notebook, you'd be like, this bitch has murdered at least 5 people.
Really?
Yeah, my handwriting's insane. My notebooks are gross. I remember I bought a white notebook. I don't know who I thought I was. This was like early in comedy. I was like, I'm going to get a white moleskin notebook.
Cool. I was drinking coffee, having a notebook.
Yeah. And like by the end of the first week, it was just covered in like filth. And I was bleaching my notebook.
Stop it.
Yeah.
And then you just have to eventually
acceptance.
get a new one. You know, so you have your notes. I'll have like, so in your thing, you could have like daily life note, sketches, scripts, press notes, then podcast, stand up, extra new stand up, new set, podcast business, info, which is a list of everything, notes for my employees.
Notes for your employees.
Yeah.
Meet me in the office.
Yeah. No, like I do a call every week and it'll be like, you know, hey, I want to do this differently, or we should change this, or
I like
good work
that.
on this.
I'm impressed by how organized you are.
Yeah. And then comedy philosophy. So
Wait, what's comedy philosophy?
So a lot of times I'll have ideas about comedy and I'll write those down. Like, here's something that I think.
About comedy.
Yeah.
Like, you'll just be thinking randomly.
I'll be like, here's why people like this. You know what I mean? Or here's why this was good, or something like that.
Sometimes, like, okay, would this go under comedy philosophy if you use a word that's funnier than another word? You'd be like, people like this word because it's funnier than this word.
That would be an example. Yeah. Here's like.
That's what I would sort it.
The rule of 3s is done. That's an example of something I said. So don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
So in my opinion, something like that is over.
You're the comedy trend forecaster.
Or I'll have editing notes. You know what I mean? Here's an example. Like I listened to this one guy. Sometimes there's other people, and I'll put who wrote it. Okay. There's a guy from College Humor, and he said crossfades are for pussies who don't know how to cut. And I always thought that was funny.
That is funny.
Yeah, and I always think, what was the other one? The crossfades are pussies that don't know how to cut. And I always think that. Here's another one. I think that a lot of times. Improvs for pussies who don't know how to write. Especially if you're shooting one camera.
Improv can get weird. Have you done improv classes?
No.
You ever do those? That's when shit gets weird. I did groundlings.
People hate effort. That's a comedy note.
People hate effort. Yeah, no, it's true. They want it to seem effortless.
Yeah.
They think you're funny if it seems effortless, not if you're like, struggling up there to like find the right word.
I know, but it's a trade-off because, you know, you have to decide whether or not, like, so sometimes I'll do things that are high effort and I go, but I just like understand that in your calculations that people aren't going to like this for that reason.
Yeah.
It's going to rub certain people the wrong way. So be careful, but just be sparing with it.
But it's like, can you make it look effortless?
Sometimes you can.
That's the goal, right? To make something that takes a lot of effort look effortless.
Yeah, exactly. But sometimes, you know, like, again, there's a lot of comics like, you know, Dane Cook would be breaking that rule. And, like, or whatever, like any comic that's like crazy high energy, blah, blah, that's like a lot of effort and people generally are rubbed the wrong way by it.
It's too much.
But that's why, because people hate effort.
People hate effort. That's a good point.
Once they like the person, again, it's like if you have a friend that's like super high energy and like bounces off the walls, and you were like, no, this person's so funny, that you might think it's sick. But if this is a new person that someone's introducing, you might be like, who the is this guy?
Yeah.
So the effort's irrelevant once they like you, I think. So it's a first impressions thing.
But also, there's just some days if someone's an energy vampire where you're like, I just don't have the energy to see this person.
Yeah.
Today.
I'll do that sometimes when you're like, after a long day, you're just like hanging out with your chick or something, and she'll be just like wanting to get in and be like, do you think birds have friends? And you go, I just can't, like, I can't get into this, like,
I'm definitely that bitch that asks like the most random questions at night. Do crows have a sense of play?
Yeah, and you go, listen, I'm not.
I have no fucking idea. I don't know where this is coming from.
You're tiptoeing in the bedroom, like hoping she won't wake up. And then you just hear her like get up and be like, when's your first memory? And you go, no, I can't do it.
Yeah.
Anyways, I recommend the note system.
The note system.
Not necessarily mine,
the
but-
Evernote system.
I don't know. I think that's the one. But I like when people have a good new tip where they go, yo, this new system's the best. I go, what do we stop? Any more? Pitch me.
My systems are so broken. Sometimes I text myself a joke. Have you ever done that?
You want to just put it in a note?
No, I text it to myself.
That's crazy.
But I'm like but sometimes I do it in the middle of the night too.
Do you time the text so like it gets there a couple hours later and you see if that was funny or not?
No, I just.
What would be an example of a text you sent yourself?
Okay, like I sent myself, and I don't know, I sent myself in the middle of the night at 4 a.m. the other night. I texted myself, and I don't know if this was like I had a dream that this place existed or if I just thought it was funny. It's a pizza place called Bozo's Bricks.
Yeah, I'm listening.
So it's like a clown is the face of it, and it's just deep dish pizza. I don't know where that came from, but I woke up in the morning and I had
Sounds like a business idea.
I had a text message from myself that said Bozo's Bricks.
You're going to be rich.
Yeah. You
But you're
I
like,
got
if
a
you were
copyright.
doing, is the idea that in a joke that'd be like a reference, like, oh, this guy's working at Bozo's Bricks.
No, I don't know what it was. It just I thought it was funny. Like
Right.
that's a funny name for a pizza restaurant.
Why is it called? Why is the bricks? Was the bricks?
Because like deep dish brick pizza.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, isn't
Okay.
that a thing?
I don't
Brick
know.
pizza?
Is that like a Philly thing?
I don't know. I'm not from Philly.
Bozo's Bricks.
Brick oven. Right? Isn't that a thing? I don't know. So I text myself weird
A
shit.
brick
like
is
that.
like when you shoot a basket and it hits the wrong part and bounces out. Brick.
Brick.
The,
Swish.
the middle part.
Swish.
Swish. That's another
That's when
basketball
it
term.
does it.
That's one of my notes. Basketball terms.
Basketball terms.
If I'm hanging out with like a bunch of guys, I could basketball. I use them wrong. I go, oh, I guess how was the game? Were there a lot of timeouts? They go, don't ask about the timeout. That's not. Yeah, that has to come out organically. I go, sorry.
Did anyone get a touchdown?
Yeah, that's me trying to fit in with the guys. Yeah, it does. When you go too deep, and I feel like anytime you go too deep into the efficiency realm, you start to feel like a bit of a robot. So you got to fight that too. I mean, you're right. It's all about balance, as you said.
It is.
But I do. That's one that I do try to correct myself on. Where you go, you're not going to be creative if you start making yourself too much of a regimented robot.
Yeah, a regimented hoe. No one likes a regimented hoe.
No, and your regimented hoe doesn't work for creative fields. I don't think either.
It's the exact opposite. It's trying to control something that's you can't really control.
You
can't
are.
really control
I know.
creativity.
You can sort of control the time frame where you go, okay, I'm going to be in this room for 2 hours. Like you can write or not write, but you're here.
Yeah.
Right? But like if you try to make your life too much, like I do this here, I do this here, I do this here, it just starts all. There's this old saying that like Jon Stewart said once. He was like, you start doing things, this synthetic comedy where he's like, it smells like comedy, feels like comedy, but isn't really comedy. You start doing that. You start making things where you go, I guess you're doing the thing.
Yeah.
You know, I guess you're whatever. You're going through the motions on all of this stuff, but you go, does any of this really like touching any sort of nerve that you even feel or does anyone feel? Or are you just like doing things?
Yeah. That's a good question. We're getting philosophical.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't like when Ryan Long comes on, we're going to get philosophical. We're going to cover.
Philosophies, hypocrisies, Socrates.
Whoa. You have bars too?
Yeah, that's all.
How long have you been sitting on that for?
These MCs. No Wu-Tang?
I love it.
These MCs. Open up your third eye with Ryan. Yo, it's time. Open up your third eye. Sitting here with a guy. Should we try?
Maybe let's touch the sky.
And that, should we try or just touch the sky?
Fuck it, I want to eat pie.
Effortless like a fly.
Ooh.
So these are the questions of life. And if you're not asking yourself this, what are you really doing? If you don't wake up every morning and ask yourself, what is the difference between me and a fly? Am I a fly?
Yeah. Or was I a fly in a previous life?
Do I want fries? No, because we have to be skinny. That's another one of my theories that girls don't like is when I tell them the best diet is just starve yourself for 2 weeks. They always go, that's actually a problem, bottom line. I go, listen, do whatever you want, but I do this. And they'll be like, well, it's unhealthy and this and this. And I go, I don't know what to tell you. It's like I literally put on weight for 3 months and then I starve myself for 2 weeks and lose it all. And boxers, athletes do it and actors do it. So it's like, you can tell me it's not healthy, but it's like, I don't know. I think I'm like fairly healthy, and I think that it works.
And I think people, actors for sure do it. Dude, they don't eat for weeks. They like they'll live off broths.
This drives people insane when I tell them that. But I go, my theory is, I go, it's very hard for me to do something like sort of just eat a bit less all the time. But when I go, if I go methodically starve myself where it's a thing, I almost like enjoy the pain of the hunger.
You're like, yeah.
Well, I'm winning something.
I'm transforming my body.
Every time I go to sleep hungry, I'm winning, as opposed to just all the time. Oh, I was just like, because girls will be like, oh yeah, just don't eat the last little bit on your plate. I go, that's not an option for me. Like, I just had to not get the plate for 2 days.
Yeah, because it's hard to control the urge. Like, if there's like a bowl of chips, I'm not like, I can have one chip.
No, it's impossible.
Right. Unless you're a robot.
No, I don't have one kernel of popcorn. I have a kernel of popcorn, then I eat the bag, then I fry up a couple more bags, then I order Uber Eats more popcorn.
And then you starve yourself for 3 weeks to get back into fighting shape.
I actually do get back into fighting shape like that. And it honestly is not pretty, because when I'm doing my fighting shape thing still, I run, and I legitimately go from like, I run 30 35 minutes to then I run 30 to 25, and it's a struggle because I'm so weak.
No, you're like famished. You're running on an empty stomach.
I do this a little less now, but
it
used to be more
sounds like a sad orphan story.
What's the other alternative? I'm just like, eat healthy on the regular.
Yeah.
Fish sticks, macaroni and cheese.
Fish sticks.
Yeah. I want to eat like a child. Hot dogs.
Hot dogs? I love a hot dog, but not a boiled hot dog. It's
Well,
got to be a grilled hot dog.
Both fine for me. One of each, please.
Boiled hot dogs. There used to be a hot dog day when I was in middle school, and the nuns at my school would boil hot dogs.
Really?
Just nuns boiling hot dogs.
And then did they say, "It's none your business"? That'd be a fun nun name, right?
That would be.
That'd be a fun nun name.
A nun hot dog
Did you go?
stand?
So you went to Catholic school?
I went to Catholic school, but my dad's a Jew.
Why did he let you go to Catholic school? Was he pissed?
Because he was just like,
couldn't have liked
because it was
that.
a good school.
Really?
It was a good school, and then
was he like, go there, but just for the record, they're all lying.
Yeah, basically. He never went to church.
They all killed Jesus. Like, these are.
My parents aren't really religious. They're like, yeah, just go to school and just go along with it. You can take what you want from
This
it.
Jesus guy wasn't. He's all he's cracked up to be. They're telling you some fibs about this guy.
Yeah.
He was okay.
Yeah, like the first time I ever saw Jesus, it was at like a school interview when I was 5, and I had never seen him before. He was like bleeding out on the cross, and I go, ew, who's this yucky man? My mom was like, we're about to like interview at a school. What? Because I'd never seen him before.
My parents, I remember the whole talk about religious. We had to go to church every now and then for my grandma, and we go, what is this whole thing? And they go, I guess the gist of it is it's kind of not true, but it sort of means be a good person. Anyway, all right, that's the end of it.
Yeah, basically.
And that's the entire talk that I got.
That's amazing.
But I had to get baptized still.
You did?
So you go, so why do you want this? And they go, oh, grandma needs it for some reason. Then just drowning you, and you go, why does she need this? why is it so important to her? I'm drowned right now.
You gotta get the original sin off of you. That's crazy. Like, you're born with like a sin.
Yeah, and apparently there was the original sin. Apparently there was a bunch of people that got baptized, and they found out that the priest was using like the wrong water, so it annulled all their baptisms. And if all these people found out they were never actually baptized, and all of them had to go back and get their other baptism.
No.
Yeah. I read this article like a month ago.
I had a teacher in school who said if there was an emergency, we could always baptize someone with a can of orange soda.
Stop it.
I swear to God. And I'm like, what kind of emergency are we talking? Like, they're going to die and they have an original sin on them. So you're like, give me that sun kiss real quick.
Yeah. Just like, I just cheated on my boyfriend. Like, what happened? It's like, we're all good. Your dude comes home, you're covered in orange crush. What'd you do?
I wanted to be allowed into God's kingdom.
Dude, being religion's so stupid.
Religion makes no sense.
I didn't realize, because I come from a godless country for the most part. Mm-hmm. I mean, I still think there's probably like 40, 50 people are religious, but like a percent. But the America really is like, what, 70% religious?
Dude, I don't know. It's trippy.
There's all these comics. They're like religious comics.
There's
and stuff
religious comics?
Yeah.
I don't hang out with them.
There's some funny ones too.
Really?
Yeah, basically everyone that's not from, New York or LA or some, city slicker town.
I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, they're all into God and stuff. Isn't that weird?
No, it's weird. Yeah. Being into God.
Dude, I know a couple guys that's their whole thing. They make videos about like God and stuff and they're really funny. No,
really?
I mean, the videos are the God videos aren't my thing, but the people they're like super funny. Just like picture any super funny comic, but instead of talking about whatever eating pussy or whatever the fuck you LA whores talk about, he's talking about what youth pastors say or something.
Hell yeah.
Whatever has godless city slickers talking about. I actually have sometimes that people will, they'll like some video that's about whatever, not that stuff, and then see some other things and go, this is funny, but too much profanity. And you go, yeah, I mean, probably you're not my demographic. Some 60-year-old woman from, where's the religious insert place, Tennessee.
Oh, man.
Is that a good reference?
Yeah, Tennessee.
I
was born in the United States. I don't fucking know where anything
Where'd you
is.
grow up?
In LA.
Oh, yeah. That's a through and through Hollywood kid.
Hollywood bitch.
I'm still trying to learn like the references of American stuff like that. I go, this is one of those things. I guess they're from Staten Island. I go, is that anything? No, okay.
No, I know. Someone asked me about Arkansas. I'm like, I couldn't even pick that out on a map.
Ew, Arkansas.
Yeah.
I tried to when I first moved here. I go, I'm going to learn like the presidents and stuff like that, which I still have to do. I guess if I'm going to get citizenship, but I tried to learn.
No, you don't.
Yeah, you do.
To get citizenship?
Yeah,
they give you a little test.
A big ass test.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, it's a whole debacle.
Is this for real or
yeah.
not? They give you a president test to get.
Well, it's not the only thing that's on there.
What else is on there?
Do you pledge allegiance to the fact that Donald Trump's orange? Like,
No.
Yeah, it's like a very biased test. It changes every 4 years.
No.
Like right now, it's just like isn't admit that Biden's inflation. No, but that's true. So basically, the green card's a whole different procedure. That's what I have. But when you want to get your citizenship, you have to do a test that's probably like, I remember Tom Green was doing it pretty recently, and he was posting about it, how he had to learn all the presidents, and he made a YouTube video
that
doing
seems fucked up.
Yeah. So you have to learn all the presidents, and then, where all the names of states and stuff like that, and all this garbage.
No, you have to learn all the presidents as an adult to gain citizenship. That seems like a 4th grade school assignment.
I know. I'm not looking forward to it. So anyways, I tried to learn them for a bit, and then after a couple of days, I was just like, yeah, I'm not going to. Like, I had all these plans of things I was going to do when I moved to America. Then I got here. I'm like, whoa, what are we doing here?
You're going to run through your flashcards with the presidents on your Uber home?
It was one of my Evernote notes. American facts. So I could pull them out to blend in like an American.
I love that. That's amazing. Nothing more American than that.
I come out and I just be like, Texas was originally part of Mexico. I try to pull out my America facts so people.
You're practicing the Pledge of Allegiance.
Yeah.
In your Uber.
Yeah, so that's one. You have to know the anthem, stuff like that.
No.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Why would I make this up?
It feels like. I don't know.
Obviously you LA people are like, borders don't exist, man. Everyone should be allowed in the country.
Peace and love, man.
What is a border if you think about it? We're all citizens of the universe.
Yeah, exactly. It's true. That is my energy.
LA is like, what? Why can't someone from Ethiopia just be in Los Angeles? Right?
Yeah, why can't borders don't matter? Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's always so funny because it does work the other way around. Because I know people in Los Angeles like have that. Like everyone should just be able to come here, and then they'll go somewhere else and be like, yeah, like maybe I'll just move to Canada or I'll just move to Australia, and then they'll be like, yeah, you can't just move to another country and be like, what? Like Americans do have this very, like in your head, do you not kind of think you could just move to Australia if you wanted to?
100%.
Yeah, you can't just move to Australia.
This sense of entitlement. Of
yeah, you do.
We belong everywhere.
You really believe you could just move to another country if you wanted to, right?
I think I could figure it out.
Yeah, you can't though.
But
it doesn't work that way. They're countries.
Well, no, I'm sure there's a process.
Yeah.
But I don't know anything about it.
Well, you're popular and you're in entertainment. Like, yes, you actually probably could do the whole process to get a visa and stuff like that. If you went and, said, I'm going to, set up my comedian operation there. Like, you could probably pull it off for Canada.
Okay.
But it would be like still a 2-year process.
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 That's some Canadian Process. That's okay.
I'm getting rid of my things slowly but surely.
You're getting rid of your Canadian?
Yeah. My buddy Colin Tyrell, you know Colin.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said that he still to me sounds, I heard him talking about this, but he's to me sounds very Irish still, right? And he says when he goes back home, they're like, "Oh, look at this Mr. American," right?
No.
But to us, he's like, "I'm Irish, man." Whatever.
Yeah, that's so good. That's so funny.
Hello, mate. That's how Irish people talk, right?
Yes, exactly. Well, that's our podcast episode.
Yeah, thank you.
So much fun hanging with you. Where can people find you, and where can people find your special?
I have a YouTube channel, youtube.com/RyanLongComedy, where I posted my special and sketches in my podcast, The Boys Cast with Ryan Long, which is a efficiency finance podcast.
It is?
No, it is exclusive.
I'm so gullible and dumb. I'm like, yeah.
Imagine though, I'm just like, I mainly talk on other podcasts about all the money I lose, and I'm like, but if you want to get a part of this finance train, we're bound to get a win.
You start.
We're due for a win.
You start holding little conferences.
Yeah, exactly.
About financial efficiency.
There is a lot of people on YouTube that start develop these little communities, and before you know it, you're just like, I should charge money for a conference to tell people how they could be a better man.
Yeah.
That is such a, it's so easy to slip into, like, once everyone's like, yo, this guy's the best, to slip in to be like, even like, you know, like Jordan Peterson and guys like that, right? Like, I know they're like, he has like a psychologist or whatever, but like, they all eventually are just like, all right, why don't I just write a book on like how to live? Like they all slowly become like self-help guys. All of them.
Yeah, that checks out.
Yeah, there's so many podcasters, or, you know, you get popular for something and you're just like, what if I run a conference on how to, you know, I could be Tony Robbins.
I can teach people how to be more positive.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming on.
Hell yeah.
I love watching all your videos. So funny.
Thank you.
And yeah, guys, make sure to subscribe to this podcast. New episodes of Shank every Wednesday. Also, make sure to subscribe to This Bitch with Kimberly Congdon. And we'll see you next week. Thank you guys so much.